chosen ones, empaths, and all the genuine souls out there. Have you ever been in a heavily emotionally invested disagreement or heated argument with a narcissist involved in your life? Okay, and the thing is prior to your awakening, you'll be very invested emotionally in this argument. It's all you'll see, and you have to. You'll be so invested in it, you won't really see what's going on. But after your awakening, if you get into an encounter, now you may still touch into it, you may still fall into being emotionally invested, but you can see what these parasites do. You'll see that these narcissists involved in your life just flip out when they don't get your way. Please like, share, and subscribe. They escalate situations. They flip out of nowhere. Okay? And it could be just something small that you ask them to do, or you just ask them to do something, or they were trying to put more work on you or more demand from you, you see, and they'll flip out to try and get their way. Now, what I think this flipping out is you make them rage. Okay, what you'll notice is further along in your journey, you may notice this. They're actually pushing back on your boundaries in all those heated arguments and disagreements. They're actually pushing on your boundaries. They're trying to gaslight you. They're trying to do all of these things to you in these moments. This is what's happening beneath the veil. If you're just taking these arguments on surface level, when they're looking at you, they're thinking another thing. Now, it's hard to instill this in your mind when you're just walking through your day. And that's why I said you may still fall in to a trap of being heavily emotionally invested in a disagreement or an argument. But it's just about taking a back step. You'll see, if you push back on your boundaries and you call them out on their BS, okay? Now, oftentimes I tell you, don't call out on the narcissist for their BS, but many of you may have called the narcissist out on their BS in these arguments, right? Could have been a family member, could have been someone you cared about, could be, it might not have been a romantic relationship, could have been someone at work. And then that's when all of their narcissistic tactics come flooded in, okay? They might try and escalate the situation. They might try to give you silent treatment in that situation. They may try to gaslight you in that situation. And really, they're raging, okay? They're raging. They might disappear out of your life, okay? You make them rage. This is what you need to know. You make them rage. You make these narcissists flip out, all right? And you'll feel this if you push back on your boundaries with these individuals. You have your boundaries in place. You actually see it for what it is. And in the heat of the moment, you might actually say, look, you're gaslighting, or you're doing this, or you're doing that. You know what I mean? You might actually tell them. And they know what they are. You know what I'm saying? They know what they are. But they get vengeful. They don't forget this shit. So I'm saying, you might say something to one of these individuals, if you're in one of those relationships where you say something, you're calling them out about they're a narcissist and this and that, right? And they're still around you. They've got a vengeance, you know what I mean? They don't forget how you see them, but they do have this rage. But remember, like, they always want to be a part of your life, and it's better to just sometimes just let them be. You know what I'm saying? Just let them be. Keep back your words, because it's honestly wasted on them. They're so defensive, right? They can't take any form of criticism, right? They can't take criticism gracefully. They don't appreciate anything that you do for them. This is what I often touch on for those of you, when you're out of their lives, you're having your boundaries firmly put in place, all right? And this will cause them to rage. But you would have seen these rages, these arguments that you are often pulled into over the years, over the decades, however long. This was them when they're not getting their own way, all right? And this was you pushing back your boundaries and standing your ground. And they start arguments. They escalate the situation. They start to devalue. They'll do all sorts of things because they're raging that you're having your boundaries, right? You need to embrace this. This is what they do. All right? They what the most ill thing about the narcissist is they're constantly analyzing you, studying how you react, and you shock them every time when you have your boundaries in place, when you do these things. You shock them. You really shock them. And you just have to think about this. Like, you do shock them. They wasn't prepared for you to put your boundaries in place, for you to stand up for yourself, and this causes them to rage. It really does cause them to rage. And when this is why you need to just get it to when they're out of your life. But I can understand that many of you may be involved with narcissists, and perhaps you have children, or perhaps it's a toxic family unit, or whatever it is. It could be a friend that you can't get out of the situation with them. There's many times when they're still around you, so watch for these rages that they do. It's best to just be calm, but stand up for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Have your boundaries in place. Don't let them, you know what I mean? You do nice things for them. They do not appreciate it whatsoever, right? They don't appreciate it whatsoever. At all. At all. They don't appreciate nothing until you're gone. Okay? And I can't emphasize that enough, right? Until you're gone, the narcissist does not value your time, anything. It's only once they're gone, and that's what their rage becomes about. Even after you're gone, your boundaries are full in place, you door slam bolted and welded it shut, they'll still rage because they can't get to you. You see? They'll be thinking of ways. But I understand that many of you are in situations when these people are going to be in your life for a period of time, or you have to deal with their rages and stuff. You know? You have to deal with their rages. But you should try to be as unemotional as possible. I think that's the best way of handling it. Okay. They often, when they don't know what to say, they resort to silent treatment. They resort to ghosting. They resort to those types of things because they literally do not know how to say anything to you. You see, they don't know how to have a proper. So they can give you silent treatment in the arguments, where they're ignoring what you're saying. Then they might get you frustrated and they're just not reciprocating what you're saying. They'll do that stuff, but it can lead all the way to an actual ghosting, an actual discard, or something like that. It can lead them to do these types of things because of your boundaries. And then like if they get someone after who has no boundaries, right? It doesn't give them as much supply, because supply is just supply, positive and negative. They actually prefer negative, right? They actually enjoy these arguments. They actually enjoy these disagreements. They actually enjoy these family feuds. They actually enjoy, is that even the right word? I don't know, but they actually enjoy this toxicity, right? They actually like being raging, you know what I'm saying? Like, they'll get motives and agendas and wanting ways to hurt you, and like they're weird. weird creatures. So just think about what I said, and thanks for listening today. I really appreciate the support. Please book a session if you'd like to. You may donate or support to the channel if you want to. Check out the spiritual channel. Everything you need is in the description box below. I'll be back on our video soon. Peace.